Number 1 pick is the Titans this year. DraftKings has Cam Ward as the minus 20,000 favorite to go number 1 overall. So that means if you bet $20,000 to get Cam Ward number 1, and he went number 1, you'd get $1.
Wow.
So that'd be great.
Wow.
$1 you didn't have before.
$100.
Oh, $100?
You don't know how to gamble, so you got to write those specifics in for Alman, but it's $100.
Sorry.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
$100.
It's always based to $100.
Either way. Okay, $100.
Right? Yes.
All right, go have fun with that $100. You only had to risk $20,000.
Yes.
So they seem fairly certain that Cam Ward is going to go number 1, and you are as well?
I am as well. Cam Ward's going to the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward is he's a special talent that fits any scheme, can make any throw. They're a team that needs somebody for the future that they can get the fan base rallied behind. They're going to open up a new stadium. He is the type of guy to be the superstar that can be that polarizing person for the franchise where everyone's like, man, we got him. Look at his arm. Look at his playmaking. Holy sidearm throw, all of that. So, yeah, I think this is a no-brainer here.
Okay, so that's easy. And we're going to discuss as we go here, where does the draft actually start? Because number 2 pick, we've heard the name Travis Hunter out there a lot. DraftKings has him as the negative or the minus 900 favorite to go number 2 overall. Travis Hunter number 2 for you?
Yeah, Travis Hunter number 2 for me. I mean, it's again a 2-1, and I think the most important thing for the Cleveland Browns is they get a receiver that I think they need. Now, listen, they could throw everything off. I thought about Abdul Carter, right? Yeah. I mean, you've heard me say, man, pairing Abdul Carter with Myles Garrett, like, wow, that sounds kind of special to me. But I don't get the feel that they're going to do that. I get the feel that they're an analytics football team, and they're looking at Travis Hunter, and they're like, wait, the analytics on both sides of the ball are really good here, right? They got some decisions they're going to have to make in their secondary here before it's all said and done with Newsome and Ward's getting up there a little bit in age, and the other damn corner from Mississippi State that Emerson, that I'm blanking on his name there. So they can't pay all those guys going forward. He also will help that as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be Travis Hunter there at pick number 2.
So they've talked a little bit about, hypothetically, what they would do with a guy like this, play him at wide receiver, play him at corner. It's been well chronicled. He wants to do both in the NFL. I think we have the depth chart for the Browns, wide receiver and corner. From what you've heard from the Browns, what do you think the plan is with a guy like Travis?
Well, they were one of the first teams that came out like right at the combine. They were sitting behind me and Florio as we were doing the show and doing interviews where they came out, Andrew Berry, and was like, no, we evaluate him as a receiver, right? That's our thing that we think he's best at. And I think that's exactly where they're going to do it too. Again, I look at that and go, hey, they're a team that needs offensive playmakers. Jerry Jeudy's really good, but I don't think he's a superstar 1. You know that. I think he's a real good 2. Mm-hmm. Cedric Tillman, real good player, good size. Don't know if I feel like he's a 2. He's maybe a 3, but you get Travis Hunter in here and you go, oh, we got a 1, 2, 3. That's pretty damn good, coupled with David Njoku, and watch out. So that's where I think you like that fit and everything going on from there. He's a hell of a football player, as we know.
Will be a story. Will be interesting to watch in Cleveland. Number 3, your New York Giants are on the clock.
Yeah, buddy. And this is what I'm hoping for, and this is what I feel is going to happen. So I'm not doing this through hope, but yeah, here we go. Abdul Carter. Sign it up. Yes, they got a chance here. Kayvon Thibodeau's done a solid job, but he hasn't lived up to the number 5 pick in the NFL draft by any stretch of the imagination. Abdul Carter, as we've waxed poetically a bunch about him, he's special. That's why we called it Carter's Comment. There's only a few guys like him that come around every so often. He's a once every 5 or 6 years type of guy. He's special. His explosiveness, his speed is really rare and elite for his size, and his physicality and the way he throws his body is also really rare and elite. I just don't think you turn down the opportunity for this player. And now you can go, wait, we have a lot of pass rushers for this year, but we don't have to give Kayvon Thibodeau the 5th-year option, and he's gone for next year, or they decide to keep him and maybe trade him right now in the offseason. I don't know, but the prospects of Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Dexter Lawrence all on the same D-line together going forward, I would go, watch out. That's a special D-line. That's seems like New York Giants D-line that I grew up around.
He is minus 650 to be the number 3 overall pick, so overwhelming favorite. Still some chatter out there that the Giants might be looking at quarterbacks.
Well, I know, and they worked out Shedeur Sanders this past weekend, so we know that's on their radar. And will the pressure of the public and everybody, and we need a quarterback, and Shador and who he is and how famous he is. Will the Giants buckle under that? I don't think they will. I don't. I think they're working out him and some of these other guys because they go, wait, they might be there at the end of the first round, early second, so let's get a look on them from there. That's what it feels like to me, but we'll see. And I don't know. You're right. And we don't know with quarterbacks. A lot of the times it can be very dicey. Ownership can get involved with that type of thing and go, wait, no, I want the guy. I want him. I don't care about what the team is right now. We need somebody for the future, but I don't feel like that's the Giants type of move at number 3.
So far, this is the way that you think the draft will go, but it is also, I believe, the way you would do it if you were the GM of all these teams.
I think
right? Cam, Hunter, Carter.
I think so at this point. The Browns would be the tough one because I would seriously consider Abdul Carter pairing him with Myles Garrett. But yes, I think as I sat here right now, this would probably be how I would do it as well.
So pick 4 may be where we depart from where you would be.
This is the interesting one.
Patriots on the clock.
I'm going to get Will Campbell. They've made a lot of investments in their football team and free agency, right? Some people might believe they took a risk in overpaying Milton Williams or whatever. I don't believe that, but damn, they're really freaking good. But they need an offensive lineman. They need a tackle specifically. And that's where I got Will Campbell going. But as you know, and as I think a lot of the people in the league think, they're not really sure he's made to be a left tackle. We had Orlando Brown on here who he said, like, hey, I see it, but there's things to question, right? So what I came to at the end of the day here with this one is just when Will Campbell is, first off, like a can't-miss prospect on the O-line. He's going to work somewhere. I think he's made to be a guard. If they think he can be a tackle, but the other aspect of this is I feel like he's just a Vrabel guy. He's got a Vrabel-type attitude. He's a roughneck. I mean, he's tough. He's physical. He likes beating people's ass into the ground, and that feels like a Vrabel type of thing, and that's kind of some of the guys he had at Tennessee. So I'm going to say that, yes, within the culture and the player, they go here, Will Campbell.
He's got a little bit of an edge to him.
He definitely does. I mean, you hear him talking.
You ask him about his short arms. He don't like that. He don't like to talk about short arms.
He's got a lot of press little clips from even during the season when he talks about certain teams and the way he plays. Like, you could tell there's a real nastiness to him, and yeah, I think Mike Vrabel is going to like that a lot. It's just we question the guard tackle thing, and they need a little bit more of a tackle. And I thought about, should we get one of the more traditional tackles and put him here? But when it came down to it, I just went, no, this seems like a Vrabel drafted Skoronski, right, when he was there.
Oh, sure.
Right? It seems like that type of guy. He had Jack Conklin when he was there. They let him go in free agency to the Cleveland Browns. But, yeah, I do feel like this would be the kind of guy he would like.
He is minus 450 to go number 4 overall, Will Campbell, the offensive lineman from LSU. Jaguars now on the clock. This one's more of a coin flip. So this one,
what's the public thinking right now with this one?
Right now, it is Mason Graham from Michigan is the minus 115 favorite to go number 5 overall. But Ashton Genty is plus 250, Jalen Walker plus 550, Armand Membu is plus 600, the offensive lineman, the tackle that you like a little bit better.
Yes, I like him at tackle better. Yes, exactly right. All right, so I go Mason Graham here at number 5. I feel like, first off, they drafted a tackle first round last year. They have Walker Little, who's a second-round pick from 2021, and he played well last year. He's not the issue. I think they tried to address their interior part. I think they tried to address O-line and free agency. It was what my spidey senses tell me. And getting Robert Hainsey, getting Patrick McCarry, right? Yeah, already have Ezra Cleveland there at one guard. So I feel like they're going to be like, okay, that. The Ashton Genty, I've been hearing that. I've heard people saying that. But they also have, Travis Etienne and Tanks Bigsby, who are pretty damn good players, where I just go, I don't know if I buy in that. This is one of the worst defensive run-stopping teams in football last year. They don't really have a D tackle that you look at to go, ooh, I think he can make some plays and be a difference maker. So, yeah, I'm going to go Mason Graham here because I think it's the most desperate need for them. And this is like, again, this is one where it's like desperate need, and this is the best guy at the position. And that, to me, says Mason Graham. And Mason Graham is a guy, not only is going to help in the run game, but he can really pass rush off the edge and do that as well. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of his, and I think that makes sense for them.
He's your number 1 defensive tackle. He's off the board now. Your number 1 edge off the board with Carter. Your number 1 wide receiver and Hunter off. Cam Ward off. your number one quarterback. All right, well, we double up on a position.
Well, this is
here.
where, again, you start to see, like, some of these teams have these needs, and it's like their number one guy, and you just go, I don't know if I see trades happening here unless something unforeseen happens.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we sit here and go, wait, the Browns took somebody else, the Giants took Travis Hunter, and now maybe Abdul Carter's on the board at 4. And it's like, whoa, does somebody call the Patriots? And it's like, hey, we'll trade a boatload of stuff to get up to 4 because we want him. But as it goes right now, it was actually weird doing this exercise because you get done with the first 5 picks and you kind of go like, it just feels chalk.
It's too easy.
Like it's too easy. It can't be this easy, can it? But that's what I feel right now.
They're tricking us. Now, there were 5 trades last year in round 1. There were 6 the year before, 8 the year before that.
Yes.
And so it does seem inevitable, like we will get some.
I know.
Hard
but
to figure out
2014 wasn't that long ago, and we didn't have a trade
None
then.
in 2014.
So, that's right.
All right, the Raiders on the clock, number 6. The favorite, according to DraftKings, is Ashton Genty, a running back going off the board at number 6.
It makes sense. Ashton Genty, every mock draft I see is the Raiders, Ashton Genty from the start of time, the first mock draft of the year, and I can't see, nobody gets off of it.
Yep.
I'm not buying it. I just, first off,
this is why people are saying it. You know, the rushing attack last year was terrible.
I hear that. Now, what did we say about the running back class in general? It's deep. It's deep. Okay, the other thing I'm going to come into here, all right, is John Spytek just came from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they drafted middle-round running backs who have become awesome. Bucky Irving, Rashad White, Sean Tucker from Syracuse, right? So now the GM who's kind of been taught, let's build the offensive line and we'll find running backs. Now we're going to go, he's going to say, F the O-line, and let's just get the running back? I don't know. That doesn't. And then we got Tom Brady involved in the conversation, who came from New England and came from Tampa Bay, where there was running back by committee. We don't need one bell cow superstar guy, right? Let's disperse our wealth throughout the football team. The way they've talked about it, they've been so upfront about it, I don't buy it. I told you before the show, you look at the Friday press conference, so when they start to ask about the running back, like it felt like Pete Carroll was kind of acting a little bit. Like he was like, hey, be careful now. And then they start to talk about Ashton Genty, right? Like, to me, it just, I don't know. I'm throwing the BS challenge flag on it. I am.
You think they hope that someone likes Ashton Genty so much?
I think they know that he's one of the marquee offensive players in the draft, and they're going, we're going to take him. We're going to take him, hoping that one of these teams goes, there's only a few marquee offensive guys that go in the first round. Let's go get that guy. I think that's what they're doing. I don't know.
All right.
And because of that, I've gotten to go Membu.
They get 3 picks.
They took everybody. The whole O-line is addressed, all right? But Armand Membu, excuse me, all right?
Yeah.
They take him. I look at them as a football team, and I go, their right tackle is below average in DJ Glaze. Colton Miller is getting up there a little bit. This is a guy that, yes, could play right tackle, could play left tackle, certainly when that time comes. But either way, he's one of the best tackles in the draft. And I just feel like with this football team and, hey, we want to dominate the line of scrimmage, Pete Carroll, I feel like that's more of a pick than them going running back, or more of a thought they would have than going running back. And they can get a running back. Like I said, I think R.J. Harvey is worth a second-round pick. If not, there's going to be good ones there in the third round to get. There will be. And I just don't imagine them going Genty at 6.
And you like Membu as a tackle.
I like Membu. I mean, just like Orlando Brown. Say it again. What were we going to say?
You didn't rank your guys 1 through 5, right? We didn't make you do that.
As a pure tackle, he'd have been my 1.
Your number 1.
Right. Him or Josh Simmons, you heard me wax poetically about them, right? Simmons, the injury helped me. But I think, yes. And when it comes to the pass protecting, yeah, I thought he and Simmons were clearly the best, and I thought Membu was the best one. So, yeah, because of all that, I'm going him there. And I think the Raiders start with their physicality and being big up front and winning the line of scrimmage.
So that makes things a little interesting, because now the Jets are on the clock, number 7 overall, and DraftKings actually has them taking Membu.
Everybody
as
does.
the favorite.
Right.
So now maybe he's off the board.
I don't even know why we do a draft this year. It seems like the first 10 have been in stock, and 2 smoking barrels forever. Yeah. Like, it's just been like, here's the top 10. We're all going to copy each other, in the mock draft. Here's the top 10.
So now reality is happening in the Jets. So now do they pivot? Do they go off offensive line altogether? What do you think?
Well, I still think offensive line's the biggest need on their football team. Hey, we could say all we want about the pass regime and everything like that. The one thing you will not hear me say is that that personnel department made a bad team. Joe Douglas, I feel bad for him because it's still, when you look at their freaking team, you go, damn, there's a lot of good players. But I think in their heart of hearts, yes, we hear Tyler Warren a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. But I come down to it still, and I think O-line's going to be the play here. Aaron Glenn, coming from Detroit, that group, everybody he's with there, yes, I feel like they've replicated what Detroit did the first time around anyways, when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, let's get a quarterback that not everybody wants, Jared Goff, and we'll make him into something. They're doing that with Justin Fields. They're trying to keep quiet. They're going to be a believer in big people up front. And, yeah, I don't think they're going to go the tight end route. I'm going to have them go Calvin Banks Jr. from Texas, right, at right tackle. At the very least, he could play guard or tackle, but I think he is ready for tackle. I do. And I think he starts there. And now you look at them and you go, damn, they got him. They got Olu Fashanu. They got Elijah Vera Tucker, Joe Tippmann. And you start to go, that's a pretty damn good O-line. I think that's what Aaron Glenn's going to replicate. I'm going to go with that thought there.
So Pete has put in a rundown. Last year, they took Fashanu, as you mentioned.
Right.
They passed up on Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers had one of the best, if not the best, tight end season that we have ever seen. So they pass up on Tyler Warren again? A tight end again?
Listen, I thought about it. I did. My thing here, a little in my thought process too, is just that the way the draft could fall out, you could have some really good tight end. There's going to be a good tight end, I think, available at the top of the second round if they really want to do that. You can't say the same about, I'm not sure there's going to be a starting tackle there, right? So that's where I could certainly see, we know Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland to go in the first round, but Mason Graham, the kid from Bowling Green, right? I think they could be there when the Jets pick in the second round, and they could do that then. Let alone, I'm not exactly sure how they feel about their tight end and Ruckert right now anyways. I'm not sure, but I just feel like this is more of their move. And I'm going to go with the O-line and go with that they believe in big people like Detroit and like we've seen them do.
And we've seen it before. It's your third offensive lineman off the board now in the top 7 picks. And, we've seen that before. We could see it again. Number 8, the Panthers now up.
Well,
if they want an offensive lineman, they're going to have the 4th available.
Yeah.
Probably not going to go there.
Well, no, the Panthers are up. And here's one where, again, I don't agree with this.
What do you mean?
I don't agree with this player and what who I'm going to have them taking.
Okay.
But I feel the consensus is, and this is, to me, one of the weirdest guys in the draft. Because I know a ton of people, as I've told you, too, to where I go, when I talk about Jalen Walker, who I have going to the Carolina Panthers at number 8 here, right? It's very mixed bag. People are always like, well, I've never seen a pass rusher in the top 10 6'1". Like, what? Is that what we're doing here? Right? And you better have a plan for them. I mean, that's the things I hear from the NFL. And then it's a little bit, again, too, some of the first things out of people's mouth when I talk about it is the leader, the worker, all of that. Which I hate when those are the first things out of your mouth about. I want to go, wait. I don't want to talk about that as the first thing about my top 10 pick.
He's a good guy. Get him off my team.
Right. I want to hear his talent on the field, and then you can second that with the attitude and culture fit. But they need defense there. They do. And with this kind of pick in Jalen Walker, okay, I will say it kind of addresses 2 and 1 for them a little bit. Yeah, it gets them a pass rusher. They also could use a stand-up linebacker. He can do all that. E.J. Evero kind of has that chaos type of defense where they just move people around and do a lot of different stuff. And I can see him having a plan for Jalen Walker, so I'm going to go with him there.
They could use an edge, right? Ashawn Robinson,
yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney led Carolina in sacks last season, 5.5 each.
They definitely can use an edge. Would they take somebody else there at that spot? I don't know.
I mean, would if it were you.
I would.
So if it was Chris Simms, the GM of any of these teams, so Walker is minus 900 to go in the top 10. So it seems fairly certain he'll be off the board, at least by the Bears, if not before then. where would you be comfortable taking a guy like Jalen Walker? Where's his value to you?
To me, like more down like in the 20s.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I.
Which I think is good perspective, because a lot of these times, people are like, why don't you like Jalen Walker? You do like Jalen Walker.
Yes.
You just don't like him top 10.
No, and I don't know how to use him, and I don't like that question. Right? I've learned that a little bit. You self-scout thyself. Oh, I like this athlete. He does everything good. Yeah, but he doesn't do anything really good, right? Yeah. So that's a problem. It's like back to our Isaiah Simmons thing, right? Who I love coming out in the draft.
Yeah.
He'll be able to do this. He'll be able to do that. He'll be able to do this. Yeah, he can do them all, but he doesn't do any of them very good. None of them are at a high level. And that's what I worry about here. And again, it's an interesting player, but yeah, I would want him down the line a little bit.
Chances are he does go in the first round. Maybe he'll go number 8 to Carolina.
Yeah. Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Hey, just because the season's over, it doesn't mean we're over. We ain't going anywhere. The NFL never dies.
We're staying right here. Hit subscribe. We got every NFL move. We'll react to that. Plus, Chris has got 4,719 draft prospect profiles to do.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe. You know where to find us. Peace out, homies.